note to self, this parking lot I decided to park in while running my errands is a little bit busier than I realized it would be. I thought it'd be quiet today, but I don't know, people are probably used to people talking non-video in their cars, so I'll just have to get used to it. Maybe next time I'll just film in my apartment. Today I wanted to talk about, I've been thinking about what does nomad life look like for me, because it seems like van life, car life has become very popular recently on YouTube. And I can see why. There's some big creators who are doing really well and very successful and making like more than a full-time income, probably making millions on their experience. Plus, I think probably some of us have, like me, some people like me have extremely high rent, and it's like, why pay that if you're willing to live in a car? And I'm talking about what would nomad life look like for me, because I don't plan on living in a van or even this car. I have a Corolla and it's pretty small. Now, I was talking to someone over Christmas who does a lot of traveling, and he was saying that he and his wife did like this huge road trip where they camped out and then they visited friends, and I was like, that sounds so fun. And I said, yeah, we were just talking about how much we like traveling. So I was like, I'd love to travel around the country. And I was like, I couldn't like sleep in my car. It would be awful. And he's like, yeah, we didn't expect to, but there were times where we kind of had to just because of the situation. I'm like, oh, I totally understand that. Sometimes you just have to park and sleep in the car for many reasons. And so I could see doing that. That's like, I could say I can't find a place to stay for the night, so I car camp and sleep in my car for that night, knowing that the next night I will be able to sleep in a proper housing accommodation. So that would be understandable to me, and I would have all of my stuff in my car with me, so I'd drive around with my stuff. I could see doing that. Of course, some of the traveling I want to do is out of the country, and I will not drive out of the country, especially my favorite country, the UK, where they drive on the left side of the road, and I'm not going there. There's no way. I mean, I don't even like driving that much in the United States. I do it because I have to, but when I'm in the UK, I'm perfectly happy to take buses and trains and walk and any other way that I can get around. I'm not going to be driving. So I wouldn't be living out of a car or a van. And so for long-term stays, I would do the same thing I did when I was over there, which is Airbnbs. I found some great flats, apartments that had everything I needed. And some of them I would have stayed at forever. If I was like, this is my apartment, I would stay here forever. They were great. It is a little bit expensive. I would have to find some places that are closer to what I pay in rent. And I just said that like my rent's really high, but if it's that, rent and all that other stuff that's included in it, if the place already has everything I need, Wi-Fi, utilities, and it's close to what I'm paying in rent now, then why am I staying here and paying rent when I could go to a new place every month or go to a new place every 3 months if I really liked someplace and stay there? Of course, hotels I've stayed at for a couple nights or less because that's just easier to do with those, and the prices are about the same as an Airbnb. Airbnb really becomes a bargain when you're staying for a week, or even when I stayed at for a month and I got like half off of what the normal price was. So Airbnb is not perfect, but it really works well for that kind of thing that I want to do. And then I can couple that with staying with my loved ones. So I think I mentioned in my very first video that one of the things that kind of got me finally saying, I really want to do this, is that I was invited to stay with a couple different people where I've never been to the state before. And I'll tell you if I get to go there. Let's just keep surprises on where I might go in the future. But it's someplace I've never been before and do really want to see. And I was saying, because I already had wanted to go see where they lived, I said, I've already looked up some Airbnbs so I can come visit. And they're like, oh, save your money. You can stay with us for a couple of nights. And that would be great. I might still get an Airbnb for a month and then stay a couple of nights with one person, a couple of nights with another. I have friends and family who live in other parts of the country as well who have said, you know, come visit. I haven't been able to visit in a long time because of finances, that I can come stay with them for 2 or 3 nights. And I completely understand that. Like, they don't need to host me for months on end or even a week. It's a lot having house guests. I like having people come to visit me if I have the space, but like they can't stay forever, right? We would get on each other's nerves, but I would get on their nerves, and so I totally understand. I don't want them to have to feel like I'm a burden. So if they are, but the people who have invited me are all people who are like, we love having people to stay, and so we'll just, you know, not overstay my welcome, but it sure is a great way to sort of mitigate the cost. So I could stay someplace, like I said, for a couple of nights with someone I know, and then I could move on to an apartment of my own and still explore more of the area. I don't have to feel rushed. I love slow travel. So that all sounds amazing to me, and it certainly would help with the budget. So for me, remote work is going to be necessary, whether it's a little bit of part-time, a full-time job, seasonal, but I need something that I can do from where I'm staying. I have learned that I'm pretty sure that I wanted to do that before. And then on my current job that I do in an office, they actually went to sort of a flexible schedule a few years ago, because most of the job we can do remotely, but we do have some things we have to do in person. And I absolutely love working from home, and it actually works really well for me because I hate commuting. My job is a little bit far away, even if my job is down the street. So nice to be able to just get up and open up your laptop and do some work. So I absolutely love working from home for part of the time. And that is my big goal. I don't care if it's part-time all year round. I don't care if it's full-time all year round. That would be amazing, but that seems to be eluding me. So right now it looks like maybe seasonally in my field, there's a really busy season and people hire for that time, and I would be happy to do that. So that's my goal right now, is I've been applying for those types of jobs where it would be for the busy season and I would do it from home or from wherever I'm staying, and I can continue to make money because I have to have something. But I learned I can't, there's really no way for me to, I don't have the skills to sort of do anything else, work for myself, or I don't have a lot of skills for working for a type of job where I could work fully remotely, full time, and like software engineer or something. Like I know someone who does. I wish I did, but I don't. So, but remote work will be definitely a necessary part of that. And then I can fit in other temporary seasonal jobs. So that would be what I would do maybe in certain places where if I go there, I'd applied for a job last year somewhere else that was seasonal that I was really interested in checking out anyway. And I applied for a seasonal job and they contacted me. And when I filled out their information about my availability, and I said, I'm not in that state right now, but I am going to head up there for the summer because it was a summertime job. And it was like April to October or something, with like most of the work being May, June, July. It's very summer based, but then there was some more going into, you know, on either end of it. And I would have been happy with that. I did not get that job, but again, it's something I've kept my eye out on, and I still might apply for it again if I'm able to make this happen. And I have some remote work to sort of support myself, sort of underneath that, to always be there. And then I can do other jobs on top of it. And then the question is, can I still do eBay, which I do. I started doing, oh, the light came out right in my face. So we're just gonna go with it. So reselling in eBay, people do a lot of reselling that kind of live up north and then they come down to Florida and sell here at flea markets and stuff. I don't know if that would be possible for me because I have a tiny little car. I think they all have like massive trailers and stuff that they do that with. And I'm not a big like junk, carrying around a bunch of junk person. See previous video on I'm a minimalist, and that would be difficult for me to do. But I can maybe explore a little bit. Could I buy things? If I'm in one place, could I buy something and then sell it quickly, like flip it quickly? Or could I buy things one day? And if I'm focused on just stuff that sells quickly and makes good profit in, you know, a week, if I'm staying in a place for a month or two, then I can do that. So it's more of like, that's sort of another idea that just I'll have to figure out as I go, and hopefully won't need it, but it's always there. Now that I've started doing it, I've been doing it for 2 years now. Now that I do it, it can be something you stop and start based on what you need. So that's actually really good about that. That's kind of the way my life looks if I become nomadic, really, is working remote, whatever way that looks like, so that I have some kind of income coming in, staying with people when I can, and then there's so many options for temporary accommodation, Airbnbs and hotels that I've done before that I could do again, and then finding other ways to make money along the way. That all sounds good to me, and I would like to try it out, and we'll see if that actually ends up being what nomad life looks for me. It could be completely different once I get started. You never know. But that's how I'm seeing it right now for me. And I guess let me know if you want to do nomad life, or if you're doing it already, have done it. What was different for you, or what did you do that really made it possible? Did you do gig work? Did you live out of a car for a while? Did you stay with people more? What kind of did you do to make that happen? I'm curious to know. Well, thanks for watching me talk about it today, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.